You have 24 hours today. By the time you go to bed, you will have spent 8 of them on sleep. That leaves 16. Where did they go? Can you account for them? Can you point to exactly what you built with them? Or did they disappear into a black hole of notifications, meetings, scrolling, and reacting to other people's priorities? Most people cannot account for their hours because they have never learned to treat time as a weapon. They treat it like a resource that is free to everyone else to take. And it is taken every single day. This audiobook is about taking it back, not managing time, owning it, not spending time, investing it, not filling time, weaponizing it. This is the time weapon. Introduction: The Great Robbery. You are being robbed, not of money, not of possessions, of something far more valuable: your time. The one resource you can never get back. The one asset that once spent is gone forever, and you are being robbed of it every single day. The robbery is not happening in a dark alley. It is happening in plain sight. It is happening while you scroll through your phone for an hour in the morning. It is happening while you sit in meetings that have no purpose. It is happening while you check email 20 times a day. It is happening while you respond to notifications that other people sent to you. It is happening while you do work that feels urgent but is not important. You are not being robbed by criminals. You are being robbed by a system designed to fragment your attention until you have nothing left for yourself. A system that profits from your distraction. A system that measures its success by how much of your time it can capture. You feel it every day. You wake up with intentions. You have things you want to build, projects you want to complete, skills you want to develop. You start the day with a plan, and by the end of the day you have done none of it. You have been busy all day. You are exhausted, but you have nothing to show for it. The day disappeared into 1,000 tiny interruptions, and you tell yourself tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow is never different because you are fighting the system with the wrong weapons. You have been taught to manage time, to make to-do lists, to prioritize tasks, to use productivity apps. These are not weapons. These are management tools for a system you should not be participating in. They are like rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. They do not stop the robbery. They just help you organize what little time the system leaves you. This audiobook is different. This is not about managing time. This is about weaponizing it. This is about turning your hours into a tool that builds your life instead of a resource that is stolen from you. This is about becoming a time master in a world designed to make you a time slave. The robbery ends today. The weapon is in your hands. Let us learn how to use it. Chapter 1: The Attention War. You are not just living your life. You are fighting a war for your attention, and you are losing. The enemy is sophisticated. It is not one thing. It is everything. It is the notification on your phone that pulls you out of deep work. It is the email that seems urgent but is not important. It is the meeting you attend because you were invited, not because you need to be there. It is the social media feed designed to keep you scrolling. It is the news headline engineered to make you angry or afraid. It is the colleague who drops by your desk to chat when you are in the middle of something. Each of these is a small theft, a few minutes here, a few minutes there, but they add up, they compound. By the end of the day you have lost hours. By the end of the week you have lost days. By the end of the year you have lost months of your life to attention theft. The attention war is not fought with willpower. Willpower is a weak weapon against a sophisticated enemy. Willpower runs out. Willpower fails when you are tired or stressed or distracted. You cannot win the attention war with willpower any more than you can win a gunfight with a knife. You win the attention war with structure, with boundaries, with weapons that are stronger than the enemy's weapons. You win by making the theft impossible, by building a fortress around your attention that the enemy cannot penetrate. The first weapon in the attention war is the time block. A time block is a period of time that you protect with your life. It is not flexible. It is not negotiable. It is not available for meetings or calls or emergencies that are not actually emergencies. It is a block of time dedicated to one thing and one thing only: deep work on your highest priority. The second weapon is the attention moat. The moat is what separates you from the enemy. It is the physical and digital barrier you create. It is turning your phone off and putting it in another room. It is closing your email client. It is putting on noise-canceling headphones. It is closing your office door. It is telling people you are unavailable. The moat makes theft physically impossible. The third weapon is the identity shift. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is available to everyone all the time. You start seeing yourself as someone who protects their attention like a valuable resource, because it is. You would not let someone walk into your house and take your money whenever they wanted. Why do you let them walk into your day and take your time? The attention war is winnable, but you must stop fighting it with willpower and start fighting it with weapons that actually work. Time blocks, attention moats, identity shifts. These are the weapons of a time master. Chapter 2. Deep work versus shallow work. Not all work is created equal. There is deep work and there is shallow work. Deep work is the work that creates value. It is the work that requires your full cognitive capacity. It is the work that moves you toward your goals. It is the work that builds your skills, your business, your life. Shallow work is everything else. It is checking email. It is attending meetings that could have been emails. It is organizing files. It is responding to messages. It is administrative tasks. It is work that feels productive but produces nothing of lasting value. The average person spends less than 1 hour per day on deep work. The rest of their day is consumed by shallow work and attention theft. This is why they are busy but not building. They are active but not productive. They are working but not creating value. The time weapon requires you to flip this ratio. You must spend the majority of your prime hours on deep work. You must protect those hours like they are the most valuable thing you own, because they are. Deep work cannot be done in fragments. It cannot be done in 5-minute increments between interruptions. Deep work requires blocks of uninterrupted time, at least 90 minutes, preferably 2 to 3 hours. During this time, you do one thing. You focus on one project. You solve one problem. You create one piece of value. The shallow work must be contained. It must be batched. It must be relegated to the edges of your day. Check email once per day at a specific time. Attend meetings only if they are absolutely necessary and only if they have a clear agenda and outcome. Do administrative tasks in a single batch at the end of the day when your cognitive energy is lower. This is not about eliminating shallow work entirely. Some shallow work is necessary. It is about containing it. It is about not letting shallow work consume the hours when your mind is sharpest and most capable of deep work. Your prime hours are the 2 to 3 hours after you wake up, when your brain is fresh and your willpower is at its peak. Most people waste these hours on shallow work. They check their phone. They check their email. They attend meetings. They do everything except the deep work that actually matters. The time weapon protects prime hours for deep work. Nothing else is allowed during these hours. No meetings, no email, no calls, no social media, no interruptions. This is the time when you build. This is the time when you create. This is the time when you move your life forward. Everything else can wait. Deep work cannot. Chapter 3. The Time Block Architecture. Time blocking is not a suggestion. It is a weapon. It is the architecture of a life that is owned rather than stolen. It is the difference between being reactive and being strategic. Most people treat their calendar as a place to record appointments that other people have scheduled for them. Meetings they were invited to, calls they agreed to, events they were told to attend. Their calendar is a reflection of other people's priorities, not their own. The time master treats their calendar as a blueprint for their life. Every hour is assigned a purpose before the day begins, not in a rigid, inflexible way, but in a deliberate, intentional way. The calendar reflects their values, their goals, their priorities. It is a visual representation of how they are using their most valuable resource. The time block architecture has three levels: the macro level, the meso level, and the micro level. The macro level is your weekly time blocks. You block out your prime hours for deep work first. You block them out before anything else goes on the calendar. These are non-negotiable. They are the foundation of your week. Everything else must be scheduled around them. Next, you block out your shallow work time. This is when you will check email, return calls, attend meetings. You batch these activities into specific blocks. You do not sprinkle them throughout the day. You contain them. You might have a 90-minute block for email at 2 p.m. You might have a 2-hour block for meetings at 4 p.m. You decide when these things happen. You do not let them invade your prime hours. Finally, you block out your recovery time, your exercise, your meals, your sleep, your time with family, your hobbies. These are not afterthoughts. They are essential blocks. They are what keep you sharp for deep work. They are what prevent burnout. They are what make the entire system sustainable. The meso level is your daily time blocks. Each day you have a plan before it begins. You know what you will work on during your deep work block. You know what emails you will answer during your shallow work block. You know what meetings you will attend. There is no decision-making during the day. The decisions were made the night before when you blocked out the day. The micro level is your within-block time blocks. During a deep work block, you do not just work randomly. You work on one specific task for 90 minutes. Then you take a 10-minute break. Then you work on the next specific task for 90 minutes. You break the block down into focused sprints. This prevents mental fatigue. It maintains high intensity. It ensures maximum productivity. This three-level architecture protects your time from theft. It ensures that every hour has a purpose. It eliminates the white space that gets filled with distractions. It makes you the owner of your time instead of the victim of attention theft. The time block architecture is not rigid. It is flexible within structure. If an emergency arises, you can move a block, but you cannot delete a block. You cannot leave it empty. You must reassign it. You must protect the total amount of time dedicated to deep work, shallow work, and recovery. The architecture is the fortress. The blocks are the walls, and you are the defender. Chapter 4: The Time Leak Audit. Your time is leaking, not in dramatic, obvious ways, in tiny, invisible ways that add up to hours every day. You cannot stop the leaks until you find them, and you cannot find them until you audit them. The time leak audit is a simple but brutal exercise. For 1 week, you track every minute of your day. You do not guess. You do not estimate. You write down exactly what you did and exactly how long it took. You track when you woke up, when you checked your phone, when you started working, when you got distracted, when you took a break, when you scrolled social media, when you responded to email, when you attended meetings, when you did deep work, when you did shallow work, when you went to bed. At the end of the week, you analyze the data. You look for the leaks. You look for the patterns. You look for where your time is being stolen. The leaks are always in the same places. The first leak is transitions, the time between tasks. The 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, where you are not doing anything productive, but you are not resting either. You are just in limbo. These transitions add up to hours per week. The second leak is multitasking. Every time you switch from one task to another, you pay a switching cost. Your brain needs time to reorient. This cost is invisible, but it is real. It can take up to 23 minutes to fully refocus after a distraction. If you check your email 5 times a day, you have lost 2 hours to switching costs. The third leak is shallow work disguised as deep work. You sit down to work on your project, but you answer one email first. Then you check one message. Then you look up one piece of information. 2 hours later, you have done nothing but shallow work. You feel productive because you were busy, but you were not building. The fourth leak is emotional avoidance. You avoid the hard, deep work because it makes you uncomfortable. You fill the time with easy, shallow work that feels safe. You tell yourself you will do the deep work later, but later never comes. The fifth leak is other people's priorities. You say yes to meetings you do not need to attend. You respond to messages that are not urgent. You do favors that do not serve your goals. You are so busy being helpful that you have no time left to be effective. Once you identify your leaks, you must plug them ruthlessly. Set a timer for transitions. When the timer goes off, you start the next task. No limbo. Eliminate multitasking. Work on one thing at a time. Batch shallow work into specific blocks. Do not let it invade deep work time. Feel the discomfort of deep work and do it anyway. Say no to anything that is not your priority. Protect your time like it is your most valuable asset, because it is. The time leak audit is not a one-time exercise. It is a practice you repeat every quarter, because new leaks appear. Old habits creep back. The system requires maintenance. You must remain vigilant. You must remain the defender of your time. Chapter 5. The Identity of a Time Master. The most powerful shift you can make is not behavioral. It is identity-based. You must stop seeing yourself as someone who is busy and overwhelmed. You must start seeing yourself as a time master, someone who owns their hours, someone who is strategic with their attention, someone who builds their life rather than reacts to it. The identity of a time master is built through language and evidence. The language you use when you talk about time must change. Stop saying, "I do not have time." Say, "I am not prioritizing that right now." Stop saying, "I am so busy." Say, "I am focused on what matters." Stop saying, "There are not enough hours in the day." Say, "I am using my hours intentionally." These are not word games. They are identity shifts. When you say, "I do not have time," you are giving away your power. You are claiming victimhood. When you say, "I am not prioritizing that," you are claiming ownership. You are demonstrating that you are in control of your time. You are the master, not the slave. The evidence for the identity comes from your actions. Every time you protect a deep work block, you provide evidence that you are a time master. Every time you say no to a shallow request, you provide evidence. Every time you complete a time block audit, you provide evidence. Every time you end a day having spent your hours on what matters most, you provide evidence. The identity of a time master is not something you are born with. It is something you build, one decision at a time, one protected hour at a time, one day of intentional time use at a time. When you fully inhabit this identity, something remarkable happens. Other people sense it. They stop asking you for your time in disrespectful ways. They stop expecting you to be available 24/7. They start respecting your boundaries. They start treating your time as valuable because you treat it as valuable. The identity of a time master is self-reinforcing. The more you act like a time master, the more others treat you like a time master. The more they treat you like a time master, the easier it becomes to protect your time. The easier it is to protect your time, the more evidence you create for the identity. It is an upward spiral. The identity also changes how you feel about yourself. When you see yourself as a time master, you feel powerful. You feel in control. You feel purposeful. You no longer feel overwhelmed, because overwhelm is a symptom of being a victim of time. Time masters do not feel overwhelmed. They feel focused. They feel strategic. They feel intentional. This is the ultimate goal, not just to manage your time better, but to become someone who cannot be robbed of their time because they own it completely. Chapter 6. The Prime Hour Protocol. Your prime hours are the most valuable hours you have. They are the hours when your brain is sharpest, your willpower is strongest, your creativity is highest. For most people, prime hours are the first 2 to 3 hours after waking up. For some people, they are late at night. You must identify your prime hours, and you must protect them like they are the crown jewels. The Prime Hour Protocol is a set of rules that govern how you use these hours. Break any one of these rules, and you are robbing yourself of your most valuable asset. Rule 1: no screens during prime hours. No phone, no email, no social media, no news. Screens are attention thieves. They scatter your focus. They activate your reactive mind. They fill your head with other people's priorities. Prime hours are for your priorities only. Rule 2. No decisions during prime hours. The decisions about what to work on were made the night before. During prime hours, you do not decide. You execute. Decisions deplete willpower. Prime hours are for willpower-intensive deep work. You cannot waste willpower on deciding what to do. Rule 3. No interruptions during prime hours. You are unavailable. You do not answer calls. You do not respond to messages. You do not attend meetings. You are in a fortress of focus. The moat is up. The drawbridge is closed. Nothing gets in. Rule 4. One thing only during prime hours. You do not multitask. You do not switch between projects. You work on one high-value task for the entire block. You go deep. You enter a state of flow. You do the kind of work that moves the needle. Rule 5. Track your output during prime hours. At the end of each prime hour block, write down what you accomplished. This creates accountability. It creates evidence of your progress. It shows you that these hours are producing real results. This evidence reinforces the importance of protecting them. The prime hour protocol is non-negotiable. It is the foundation of the time weapon. Without it, you are just managing time. With it, you are mastering time. You are turning your most valuable hours into a weapon that builds your life. Most people give away their prime hours to their employer. They spend their freshest mental energy on someone else's priorities. Then they try to work on their own goals in the evening when they are exhausted. This is backwards. The time master spends prime hours on their own priorities first. They invest their best energy in their own life. They serve their own goals before they serve anyone else. This might sound selfish. It is not. It is strategic. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot build a life for yourself and your family if you spend your best hours building someone else's dream. Protect your prime hours. Invest them in what matters to you. The world can have the leftovers, but the prime hours are yours. Chapter 7. The compound effect of time. Small amounts of focused time compound into massive results. This is the secret that time masters understand, and time slaves do not. You do not need 10 hours a day to build something extraordinary. You need 90 minutes of deep work every day, protected and invested consistently. 90 minutes per day is 10.5 hours per week. That is 42 hours per month. That is 504 hours per year. 504 hours of deep focused work on a single goal will produce extraordinary results. It will build a business. It will write a book. It will master a skill. It will transform your life. But only if the time is protected, only if it is focused, only if it is consistent. Scattered time does not compound. Interrupted time does not compound. Inconsistent time does not compound. The compound effect of time works like compound interest. A small investment made consistently grows slowly at first and then accelerates dramatically. The first month you might see almost no visible progress. The second month you might see a small shift. By month 6 you will see clear momentum. By month 12 you will be shocked at how far you have come. Most people quit during the invisible phase. They protect their time for a week or two and they do not see results, so they stop. They do not understand that the compound effect is working beneath the surface. The foundation is being laid. The groundwork is being done. The results are coming, but they are not yet visible. Time masters trust the compound effect. They know that protected focused time always produces results. They do not need to see immediate proof. They have faith in the physics of consistency. They know that motion creates motion. They know that focus creates value. They know that time invested wisely always pays dividends. The time slave wants instant results. They want to see progress immediately. When they do not see it, they abandon the practice. They go back to scattered reactive time. They go back to being busy. They go back to the illusion of productivity. The difference between the time master and the time slave is not intelligence. It is not talent. It is patience. It is the ability to trust the compound effect even when it is invisible. It is the discipline to protect time even when there is no immediate reward. If you will protect 90 minutes of prime time every day for 1 year, you will transform your life. Not might, will. The compound effect is mathematical, it is inevitable, it is guaranteed, but only if you protect the time, only if you stay consistent, only if you trust the process. Chapter 8: The End of Busy Work. Busy work is the enemy of deep work. Busy work feels productive but produces nothing. It is the work you do to avoid the hard work. It is checking email. It is organizing files. It is tweaking your website. It is reading articles about your industry. It is attending webinars. It is all the work that feels like progress but is actually procrastination in disguise. The time weapon eliminates busy work through ruthless prioritization. Every task must answer one question: does this create value? Not does this feel productive? Not does this keep me busy? Does it create value? Does it move me toward my goal? Does it build something that matters? If the answer is no, you eliminate it. You do not do it. You do not batch it. You do not delegate it. You eliminate it. Busy work is a cancer on your time. It must be cut out completely. The time master understands that being busy is the opposite of being productive. Being busy means your time is filled with activity. Being productive means your time is filled with value creation. These are not the same thing. They are opposites. You must become allergic to busy work. You must feel physically uncomfortable when you are doing work that does not create value. You must recognize the feeling of busy work the moment it arises, and you must stop immediately and redirect to deep work. This requires honesty. It requires you to admit that much of what you do every day is busy work. It requires you to face the discomfort of doing deep work instead of busy work. Deep work is hard. It requires focus. It requires cognitive effort. It requires you to think and create and solve problems. Busy work is easy. It is comfortable. It is safe. The time weapon chooses hard over easy, value over comfort, results over activity, every single time. The end of busy work is the beginning of real productivity. It is the beginning of building something meaningful. It is the beginning of owning your life instead of being owned by the illusion of being busy. Closing: the time master. You have been given the weapons. You understand the attention war. You know the difference between deep work and shallow work. You have the time block architecture. You know how to audit and eliminate time leaks. You have shifted your identity to time master. You have the prime hour protocol. You understand the compound effect of time. You know how to end busy work. Now you must become the time master, not in theory, in practice. Starting tomorrow, you will implement one weapon, just one. You will block 90 minutes of prime time for deep work. You will protect it with a moat. You will not check your phone. You will not check email. You will do one thing that creates value. You will do this for 1 week. Then you will add another weapon. You will audit your time for leaks. You will find where your hours are disappearing. You will plug the leaks. Then you will add another weapon. You will shift your language. You will stop saying "I am busy." You will start saying "I am focused." Then you will add another weapon. You will eliminate busy work. You will feel uncomfortable. You will do the hard, deep work anyway. One weapon at a time, one day at a time, one protected hour at a time. The robbery ends today. The time you have lost is gone forever, but the time you have left is yours to protect. It is yours to invest. It is yours to weaponize. You are not a time slave. You are a time master. Now go prove it.